Hello, my name is Lucas, this is A Bit of Lit, and I'm here to talk about my first book haul post-lockdown. Lots of stuff is still closed, and many buildings, if you want to get into them, you have to show some information, and you have to take tests every 2 or 3 days to keep your ability to go into buildings, basically. Um, but so far, so clear for myself, and that's great. Um, I would like to show you the English books I bought first, and then I'll show you the slew of Chinese books that I bought because I've been reading a lot more Chinese lately, which I will talk about in a separate video probably because I don't want this to be too long. Uh, I met a Spanish guy when I went to the bookstore, and he was picking through all the books. Apparently, he goes to the bookstore every 2 weeks, and he picks up some new books. He must make he must make good money. I mean, I go pretty often, but I try to just go once a month, maybe once every 5 to 6 weeks. But um, anyway, he was really pushing for me. He had it in his hand. He was really pushing for me to read Violeta, a novel by Isabel Allende, and he convinced me to get it, and I convinced him to get Beloved by Toni Morrison. So, win there, and I'm hoping this is also a win. Um, he didn't know anything about this book. He was lamenting the fact that he would have to read it in English instead of Spanish because he misses Spanish books, especially native Spanish authors. I believe she's from Chile or Peru. I forgot. He told me, I think Chile, because she's related to um, the Chilean leader who was killed by the Americans. Anyway, um, yeah, Violette is about a woman whose life spans 100 years, starting in 1920, and it starts with the ripple effects. If I remember right from what the back tells me, uh, the First World War has ended. The Spanish flu has arrived in her town, and the Great Depression is not soon after. Um, and World War II and all this kind of stuff. All these things she's seeing. Of course, there are two pandemics that she sees. So I'm guessing the first one is uh, what is it called? um, the Spanish flu and COVID in the last one. If her life spans 100 years from 1920, 2020, what a life one would lead to see both of those. Um, anyway, yeah, it's about heartbreak and passionate affairs, poverty and wealth, terrible loss and immense joy, and all this kind of stuff. I think it sounds really interesting. The Spanish guy convinced me that Isabel Allende is definitely worth reading. I have a book of hers in Spanish because it was like for $1. Uh, I think it's The House of Spirits or something like that, one of her more popular ones, or early ones at least. I guess she wrote A Long Petal of the Sea. This came out this year, by the way, um, at least in translation. I don't know when the original came out. My guess is last year or 2021. Well, it just says 2022. I don't know. But it's translated by Francis Riddle. It's a Ballantine Books from New York publisher. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really hoping that there's not no mentions of any lockdowns. I don't want to think about that again. Anyway, I got a Colson Whitehead book, um, and I've never read him, but supposedly Fun, the channel, had recommended reading his work. They had Nickel Boys, I believe is what it is, and his latest one that came out last year, Harlem something, I think. I can't remember right now. Um, I was really interested in the one that came out last year, but then I saw this, And I was also really interested in this one. A little bit less than the other one. The other one had the description on the back was a little bit more appealing, but this one a Pulitzer, and it was pretty 1A 1B for me. So I just got this one, and I figured I'll if I really enjoy it, I'll come back, and hopefully it will still be there. Um, but that is a shelf that tends to change a lot, so who knows? Hopefully it will still be there. I've seen a few books that have been there for a long time. So anyway, yeah, this is about the Underground Railroad and a girl named Cora who wants to escape, but there is a slave catcher. I believe this is him. I think his name is Ridgway, right? Um, yeah, Ridgway, who is obsessed with catching Cora, especially because her mother had eluded him once. And there's a guy named Caesar who convinces her to take this perilous journey. I'm really excited to read this one. It sounds really fantastic. The Spanish guy was also praising this one. So that was another reason to pick this one over the other one, because he hadn't read the other one. If he would have read the other one, I would have asked him which did you prefer. But yeah, he hadn't read this one or Nickel Boys. So Nickel Boys also sounded cool, but I was just like, let's just pick one. Let's not spend all the money that I would like to spend. Because I've still got far fewer, thanks to the lockdown, but I've still got a decent amount of books I haven't read yet. Certainly fewer, I'm glad about that, but anyway, I've been reading a lot of my Chinese books, so I'm running out, so I bought some more. I bought 101 Common Chinese Idioms and Set Phrases. I'm nowhere near fluent, but I heard that you can be fluent, but to be like a sort of sound really natural. It's good to learn, idioms, of course, and lines of ancient poetry and that kind of thing, because they have to memorize that stuff in school, and that can really make your language very beautiful, make you sound more natural, and that kind of thing. I'm a long ways from totally being there, but anyway, I picked this one up. There were 4 of these, but I got this one, and the other 3 were slightly different, but they were really cool. I want to get the others because I've been reading through this one. I enjoy it quite a lot, but I will wait. I don't want to. This was pretty cheap. This was only about $4, so not too bad. Maybe $4 or $5. Anyway, in here, I hope it's clear. We've got the Chinese saying, the idiom. This one, number 7, is 扫墓皆兵, which means every bush and tree looks like an enemy, and it's got a little story related to this. And then the last sentence is the explanation for what it means, and then it's got it in English as well, and that is really cool. And this idiom refers to how you can defeat yourself by imagining difficulties that aren't there, which makes sense. If every bush and tree looks like an enemy, then you're going to be worried about too much and cause yourself problems in that way. So I hope to learn some of these, maybe even memorize them and try to use them in speaking. That could be helpful. That could be fun. Anyway, the real reason I went there were so many other English books or translated into English books that I really, really wanted to get. But, temper myself. I've got a whole shelf of books that I want to donate or give to people or, whatever. But can't do that yet. But I bought these 2 level 1 300-word level books, Left and Right, The Conjoined Brothers, and Can I Dance with You? 我可以请你跳舞吗? I need some help with my pronunciation, but in here, the story is completely in Chinese. There's a few underlined words, and those words would be, you can see at the bottom, some of the underlined words would be translated for you to understand, because those would be new words. And then at the end, of course, it's got this reading comprehension kind of thing, to see if you can understand everything it says. And we've got some questionnaires to test your understanding of the story. And yeah, some exercises and stuff like that. And of course, at the end, there's a vocabulary list for all the words. Easy words, harder words. Yeah, and then there's a few pictures in there too. So this one's about dancing. This one is about 相左相右. Yeah, conjoined twins. And same thing, we can see. So that's really cool. This is the perfect level for me. A bit challenging, quite a few words I don't know. And I've got 2 more of these that I haven't read. And I was looking for the other one. There are 5 on this level, I think. And I just they didn't have the other one. But I thought that's all they've got. They used to have a whole bunch of other books that I have 8 or so of that I was really looking for, because those are even cheaper. These were 20, but the ones I was looking for are 20 RMB, which is, I don't know, $2.50, $3, I think. But the ones I was looking for, 15, or yeah, they're like $2. There's 100 of them, but I've only got 8, and I've read them all, and so, or I've read half of them, and I've read, yeah. Anyway, I've read half of them to fully be able to understand, and the other half I've read, but there are words where I got lost. But I was thinking, like, I need more. These 2 books and the other 2 like this are not going to be enough. Even with this is going to have a lot more stuff that I just don't know. But then I got 5 more of these. But these are a different color, you might notice, and that is because they are level 2. They've got 500 words that would be new. So it's got a lot more vocabulary that might be challenging for me. I was reading through these, and I can do a decent job, but they're a little bit harder than this, of course. But it's the same kind of thing. We've got 一张旧画, an old painting. That one's cool. 出事以后, after the accident. It looks like this guy was in a coma, maybe. Qingfeng, Green Phoenix. This one looks really interesting. This is the first one I found. 如果没有你, if I didn't have you. This one even has a CD in it, and it was a little bit cheaper. I don't know why. But yeah, that one's cool. I could listen to the story, so that'll be cool. And we've got 妈妈和儿子, mother and son, should be interesting. 电脑公司的秘密, secrets of a computer company. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing and reading those other books till I can understand them. I've learned a lot of words and vocabulary, and I've been using them with my Chinese classes. That's been great. So looking forward to learning some new phrases, really challenging myself after I read these a few times. And then, of course, looking forward to starting Colson Whitehead and reading my first Isabel Allende novel. So that's that. Thank you so much. See you next time.